morning and welcome to the program, The Voices. Today on The Voices, we'll be looking at some very important people in our society, and that is Teachers' Day. We'll also be taking a look at the Dangote refinery and the Pengasin field. But before we go into that, let me welcome my guest in the house, as well as my co-host. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
How was your weekend?
Great.
It was nice, yeah, but it's quite hectic for me.
Okay, I can see it all over you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so happy Teachers' Day to all of us.
Thank you. And happy Teachers' Day to my mother.
And
also
to mine
your late
too.
mother.
Wow, let's celebrate them.
Yeah.
But let's even get real here. Every parent is a teacher. Parents are the first teachers, aren't they?
Yeah.
To their children.
They are.
Yeah.
Let's even forget let's keep the profession apart now. The parents as themselves.
Yeah, you're a teacher because your child learns from you and you have to mold the child into what you think he should be growing up, like showing him what is right and what is wrong. He learns every day. You can't just bring up a child and then you want him to grow at 2. And you have to put in an effort to see how he keeps going. Sometimes you have to call him back to where you think he's not okay. And so I think, yes, parents are teachers, most especially for some of us that grew up in a teacher's family. My father was a teacher in primary school.
Wow.
My mom, secondary school. So we grew up as with teachers.
Hierarchy
all
of
around.
teachers.
Yes. And
Okay.
but then I don't want to be a teacher.
Before we come to why you don't want to be a teacher, let's have your own experience.
So for me, definitely parents, because teaching is transferring knowledge, right? And knowledge is, contextual, because it can be practical knowledge, it can be verbal, whatever. So really, the parent is the first teacher. That's why a child takes after his parents' temperament and all of that. So it's whatever, at the beginning, the first person the child meets are his parents. And so indeed, the parents are the very first teachers that a child meets, and that's what shapes how the child now learns to even accept other teachers that he would meet in the future. The interaction just starts from.
Who is the best teacher among both parents? Is it the father? Is it the mother?
It depends on the personality. It depends on temperament. It just depends, and also on the presence. How present is the father? How present is the mother? Because these days, sometimes it's even the fathers that are more present. In some cases,
Why?
More than the mothers.
Because
It depends
mothers are
on
busy, maybe.
sometimes one may be working. What do they say now? A regular job 9 to 5. A mother may be working 9 to 5. Then a father may be the one that is a business person, so he's more present
At
than
home.
yes. Than
So
the
roles
mother.
are switching.
Yes, modern day, the society today, a whole lot of roles. So now we have something like stay-at-home dads.
Stay at home dance.
Yes,
What does that mean?
fathers who don't go to work. They work hybrid, so they're at home working online. So they take care of the children, and then the mothers may be working a 9 to 5. So the mother goes, but the father is at home.
Okay. So let's play a video that celebrates teachers. Some thoughtful people came up with a video, a song, not a video this time around, a song to celebrate teachers. So let's hear it before we go into the teachers' profession themselves.
Happy Teachers' Day. Teachers are great. See, ma ṣeun rere. Ma fi ṣe teacher ṣeun rere. Ma ṣeun rere. Ma fi ṣe teacher ṣeun rere. Ma fi ra. Ma fi kọ́lé ra mọ́tò. Ma fi rọ́mọ nílùú òyìnbó. Ma fi ṣe teacher ṣeun rere. Ìwọ ń kọ́ ma ṣeun rere. Ma fi ṣe teacher ṣeun rere. Ma ṣeun rere. Ma fi ṣe teacher ṣeun rere.
All right, welcome back. We've just heard the song for teachers. That's a very thoughtful one.
Yeah.
Celebrating the most important people in our society. I said most important because we're all molded
Product of teachers,
by teachers. Otherwise, we won't be here. So every 5th of October, the world celebrates Teachers Day, International Teachers Day. And this year, the theme is recasting teaching as a collaborative profession. But before we go into that, the perception about teaching, it's a job that only those who don't get something better, like a dumping ground, only those who don't get something better go, to that profession. You're just giving an instance where somebody said if her daughter provokes her,
she's going to cause her to marry a teacher.
Has it gotten to that level?
It has gotten to that level because she assumed that I've seen teachers around me, and what can you say of them? These are people that any other profession comes out of a teacher, but how are the teachers treated in Nigeria? What are their salary value? What's other, like for instance, there are other professions that you are entitled to medical care, NHIS. Are the teacher involved? Are they carried along in all these things? No. You see a teacher coming online begging for hospital for his medical bill. So it's actually not fair, because if we treat them well, people will not be making such derogatory statements about them. So it's all about what our government put teachers into them. I don't think the teachers are one of our priorities in this country, most especially in Africa. It's not about Nigeria alone. So I was telling you that I remember, though we celebrate them as our parents were teachers, but I know the effect of that both parents were teachers, and I know what we have to go through to get to where we are today. We have to, can they afford a private school to pay with that? No. So we have to go to the public school, and then going to the public school, how was the public school? It's the same public school you go to, you see the teachers trying to put some facilities and some social amenities in the school. They will go and collect a job and then ask the students to go and work in people's farm and be paid. And these things still happen in some states. Yes, as we speak. So
the teachers get the job.
The teachers get the job, and then they send
to take care
teacher.
to farm.
Yes,
job.
and then they will tell you, we're going to buy tissue, we're going to buy hand sanitizers, and then drop it. Because I think I have some 1 or 2 kids that are in some of our villages, and when I learn about that, I inquire, and they said, if they don't go to work, how do we get money to buy those things and keep in the school? And we were able to, with what we are getting from that, we're able to get a big toilet and then get small ward for the children.
But for me, that's very impressive. For people to think in that direction, be creative with their own situation,
but then it's
having to do some kind of manual.
But those children are supposed to be in the classroom.
Maybe there's a way they do it, maybe after closing.
No, it can't be after closing. They will tell you their Labor Day. And the Labor Day is just for you to be practical if you want to.
But that means it's a day set aside for them, not during.
It's always whenever they get it. Whenever they get it, and you see people preferring to get schools involved because of the number of people that will be on your farm. So it's something they can finish within 2 days. You understand? So up to now, I think a lot needs to be done for our teachers.
But let me ask the two of you, being children of teachers, are you proud?
Very. The benefits are, my mom passed away a long time ago, but till today, every time I meet her students, I get a lot of favors. Wow. In fact, the favors are just, by the way, it's always how they transfer their gratitude and say, Kai, we're so thankful for mommy. Mommy did a lot for us. Mommy did this, and my mom was a counselor, so she had like extra interaction
and connection with her students.
So in that aspect, yes, but in other aspects, financially, no.
You are not proud.
So she doesn't have that experience because at least it was just one of her parents that was a teacher. Mine were both parents. My both parents were teachers. And also you know that we were quite struggling because sometimes I know when I got admission after finished secondary school, when we got admission, there was no money because teachers were being held their salary, and my mom had to call in her sister that there was a nurse. So you could see there was a difference between that profession and the other one. The other ones were doing well. And then if I could be more practical with myself, I would say my mother in her family, she is the poorest because she was a teacher. But others were doing very well, and up to now are doing very well. So sometimes I will tell my mother, because she's still alive, I will tell her that I wish you never followed this teaching line. Maybe we could have been somewhere. We couldn't have been where we are now. Because look at the other people that were this way. She said the grace of God and that blessing that they keep praying for, that they will receive their reward in heaven, that to some extent, God is rewarding them through their children. So if we cannot be thankful, we'll be thankful that, yes, I have so many of our students that will call. I even send in money. You see, your mother, I went for a program just as this, and then when the man had the name, I know you're late, mother. I say, she's not late. Are you the daughter of so? I say, yes, that was my mother. Oh, my whatever first living certificate, it's been signed by her. She was this. When I got her, she left.
So
she
good memories down there.
They're good, yes, and you see them coming for that one, yes, but any other thing, no. And I will not encourage anyone to take that part. I won't do it.
No.
Yes.
I don't think it's fair for you to say.
No. I'm a victim of that, so I won't. I will not encourage anyone.
If you say victim, I won't agree, because the truth is, currently I've met a couple of young people, and it impresses me a lot to tell me their passion is teaching
in Nigeria.
Yes.
Like maybe teaching in the private schools now are doing well,
even
because they pay well.
I'll give you a very recent example. We had I consult for an NGO in Jos, and we had a summer camp, and one of the teachers, or in fact all the teachers except for one, all the teachers, we worked with 4 schools, and the teachers that brought in the students, you could see the devotion. They didn't know if they were going to receive a stipend. It was a summer camp project, and they came with the students. They stayed with us from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. It was the holiday, so you can see the devotion, and you could see how they kept cheering for their students. The crafts projects we were doing, they were so committed, and of course we interacted with the students, and they told us, these are our teachers, our favorite teachers. They're always interacting, they're always there for us. And afterwards we followed up, we've gone to the school, we've seen interaction. You see the heart of these teachers is in trying to make sure that there's so much passion.
Have you tried them with a job and asked them, can I help you score a job with the federal government? Have you tried that and hear from them? Because I have a good relationship with my children teachers, and I know they will like, please, ma, please, I don't know if you can help us. So yes, this is where they found themselves, and then they will do it. You will accept any situation.
No, there are some that.
But you're not a good parent for you to start putting that idea into their head.
I'm not the one pushing idea. They are the ones.
So now teach your children.
They are the one that will come to you. That's why I said I don't know if she has asked them if truly they are comfortable where they are. Because the same day.
Are you comfortable where you are?
Somehow, but I cannot teach. I cannot be a teacher. Yes. Somehow, I better, instead of going to classroom for teaching, I better get my akara pot and start frying in front of my house and be settled. Because what is happening now, the parents of now are very, very, very problematic. Some of them, because majority. You cannot, majority, like I can say 70%, though there's no any research to support that. Yes. But I think you will go to correct a child, before you know it, you see a parent coming to fight you.
To flog you. I mean, I've seen videos online where parents have gone to flog or to fight or to put an injury on the teacher.
How can
But that's in private schools, not in public schools.
Even in the public school, these things are happening.
You can't discipline a child.
You don't. They don't want you to discipline a child. That's why I was telling her that we grew up in a community where if you are wrong, your mother will start calling back. Did you see? If they just see you, they will carry cane, flog there. You won't even come back to report because you know it's going to be more than what you got outside. But now something happened, and then you scold the child. The parent comes for you. For what? How much are you being paid? Even those in the private school, how much is their salary?
But how did we get to that point? At a point, in life, teachers before now, some decades ago, teachers were being celebrated in their communities. They were being looked at semi-gods with a small,
so they will be malam like in the north.
And they are looked at as the most educated people in that community, and everybody rallies around them. I don't know. I grew up watching a Village Headmaster. One of the best, TV series, at that time as a child. And so you now ask the question, where did we get it wrong to the level at which we are today, where we look down on teachers, we see them as a nobody, a noble profession that we trampled upon?
In my opinion, I would say it started with more people getting educated and having options to go into other careers and find that these other careers can earn them more money than teachers.
And then things were not that hard, and I think they were being treated better.
Yeah, because there were no other options. Once other options like nursing, like going into the force, all of the forces, military, police, other professions,
accounting, medical doctors,
yes. Once those opened up, people realized that, and then I'm going to be teaching and just be collecting nothing and just the respect of people. No. I can do this, and okay, if you want to collect respect, stay as a teacher. But me, I'm going to, I'd rather go for the money.
Exactly.
So that was the point where, and then that thing that they started to say, the reward of teachers is in heaven.
Who came up with that? Who coined that phrase?
So they it's not like a politician. A politician will tell you that there's no that your reward is here. They'll tell you that the reward for politics is on earth, not in heaven. So whatever he tries,
and it's on election day. The reward is on election day.
On election day,
the reward is on election day.
Not really.
When you collect your 5,000 or 10,000, and then you can go.
Not really.
But
it all depends how you position yourself for that, as a politician or whoever, as a follower or whatever.
But if you don't do that reward on that election day, then most likely you are going to lose.
When we have plenty boreholes now, is it not the rewards too?
Okay. Oh, you have plenty.
When we have
let's not even go there, because I know
the way
let's not even
transforming Abuja now. That is where the rewards of
let's
politics
not even go there. But the person who is transforming Abuja, creating boreholes, building bridges, opening
lightning.
Teachers have been on strike for how many months?
Because of the civil servant handling their case, are really packing everything.
And he cannot bring the civil servant.
He has tried when he, as a politician,
are you his PA?
Civil servant will mess you up if you are not being careful.
Are you his PA?
I'm not his PA, but at least I should know. I have an insight of what is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So the person that coined that phrase, the teacher's reward is in heaven, is supposed to be flogged.
I think it's one of our presidents that said it. But you see, I remember one of the conversations that I had with in fact, several, and she would always say, nurses were not collecting as much in Nigeria at the beginning. But when Victoria Gowon became First Lady, even though it wasn't called First Lady, then became the wife of the
president. And she's a proud nurse.
Yes. Then the money of nurses went up. And so my mom would always say, when Shagari, that was a teacher, came, he didn't do anything about the salaries of teachers.
He didn't even attach teaching to his profession.
Because
so they were expecting him to do something.
But he didn't do anything. And teacher's salary till today. So we're not even only talking about primary, secondary school teachers, even the professors.
Yes.
How much
I argued with someone that he was like, this person is, they just made him up. I say, these people now, the wife is enjoying, look at it. He said, how much do you think is their salary? I said, I believe that was like 4 or 5 years ago. I said, his salary now should be maybe 1 million. She said, go and ask the one in your house how much he's earning. A salary of a professor, normal professor. That is not more than 400. I was like,
Is there an abnormal professor?
As in, no, we can say they are associate prof.
And then graduate assistant, senior lecturer.
A real professor, that's what you want to say.
A real full-time professor. And you are giving such a person maybe 500,000. This is somebody that have put in the better life of his all in a place. And when you get to a professor level, definitely you're already getting to around 50.
To the end of...
and you cannot keep anything. So you are giving that person 500. How much is his house rent? How much is his children's school fees?
But is it all about the money?
I
Is it
think,
not
no,
about
we
all
cannot
the
take
money?
that away because they go to school, they pay for their tuition fee. You're not training them freely, and then they have another they have a family that they look out for, and then these people are product of a community because when they say you're a professor, you go to your village, you see people coming with a bunch of troubles and issues to say, yeah, because they believe you can be of help to them. Just as a professor, someone comes and says, please help me. My child wants to go to school and I cannot afford it. What are you supposed to do? You that knows the importance of education, you can actually help if things are things are going
And
wrong.
a follow up
with
to
you.
that, I think there's a viral video that went around recently. A professor was crying that his take home pay cannot even take him home. And a cleric came out to address people, and he was referring to that video, and he was telling his congregation that, look, it's now clear that you have to do double hustle or triple hustle as a professor. If a professor now cries that his pay cannot take him home.
So-
and there's also a professor from ABU who sells vegetables. I remember.
Yes.
I've seen the number
Yes.
of professors
Yeah.
in politics now, in INEC.
No, let's not
And
even go. Those ones are super rich now.
I
Those
met
ones are not-
I was with
Because
a
they
doctor,
need to, you
an
think that
academic
if they were
doctor.
earning well, they would want to go and solve
Those
their
ones
hands.
are
Because
already
they want-
polluted.
Exactly.
The
That's why I said
politics
to
has already
solve their
polluted.
Because that's where he's paying them.
And that's why we are not having credible elections. If professors are not
Is
polluted.
there
you would
will there be
expect-
any credible election anywhere in the world?
Let's
The
not
credible
go to-
election can only be in heaven, but that's where free and fair things can actually happen. But let's just is the highest rigor is always like that, and whoever that comes out to cry is the one that has been cheated. He tried, but then the other one was smarter than him.
No, don't take
So
us to
let's
that
not-
route. Let's come back to where we are. Aside from, if you tell professors or teachers, let's just say teacher, even a professor is a teacher. So if we tell teacher that, okay, you need to look inward. I've seen people who, teach. They go to, normal school to teach, but they have other extra classes where they also lessons where they go to teach, especially teachers in private schools, where after school they have 1 or 2 hours to teach 1 or 2 children. And at the end of the day, their salary is up to 200, 250,
But do you know
300, because they do side hustle. So
Because
even a
of
nurse
this-
now, no, hold on. Even a nurse now does side hustle. You don't rely on your
That's why they
salary.
don't give you the best
Yes.
at the government.
Even a
ones.
journalist does side hustle.
True.
So everybody does side hustle. So should the teachers, now that they are saying, okay, a collaborative, a profession, shouldn't they also look inward and say, okay, let's do the side hustle. Let us not just stay and lament because
I doubt if
government.
there's any teacher that is not doing a side hustle because whatever their
Some of them are
cannot
farmers.
support them. So, like I said, we just finished this summer camp, and one teacher, I said most of them were present. 3
Okay.
actually were
On ground.
On ground the whole time. This one, the day he brought his students, when I asked, I said, this teacher from this school, where is he? They said his farm. No, the first day he stayed, but that he complained the whole day. So the second day he didn't show up. Third day, on the fourth day, when he heard that we were giving the students transport money, as soon as he came. He came in the afternoon. We're almost done because it was the last day. So basically, we're wrapping up. And then he said to me, "You're giving these children transport money. Are you not going to give us transport money?" And I asked him, have you been coming? So he had been going to his farm. All he was thinking of probably is how does he pay his own children's school fees.
Yeah.
So he needed to hustle. So to him, it was a waste of time to come to our summer camp. Even though it was also going to help him when he returns to school, because we were giving a few extra information and all of that. It didn't matter to him. He was just thinking of his hustle. So I doubt if there's any teacher that doesn't have a side hustle. I agree.
There are some schools you go from morning, you close 5:30 because they will tell
That's
you
for
that.
private schools.
Yes.
Not public schools.
Private.
Yes,
Okay.
for private school. So how do you cope? And sometimes in these public schools, because this issue of side hustles, the lessons stuff, is making them not to give in their bags. Because I know of a teacher that have approached us with my sister then and said, I pay for lesson, if not, they will not, the child cannot
Cope.
Yes. So it means you are not giving, you prefer the one that will give you so that you make your money, because maybe what the school is giving you is actually nothing much. So I think if they are being treated well, let's put their welfare first. If we can change if we can, just the way the police have cried, people came out and protest for them. I'll be the first person on the queue if you are coming out to protest and be a voice to these teachers, because I can see how they struggle. These people have to wash their clothes. Some of them are not, since the money is nothing much, but they have to be neat because they are models.
Yes,
to
that's
these
where I'm
students.
coming to, because they say your outlook
Says a lot.
says a lot about you. So if you dress very shabby, you look very dirty.
They don't even respect you.
They don't even respect
You see, even the student coming back,
Yeah,
that this
exactly.
one,
This
you know,
one
these
that
are
you
children,
should-
that this
Yes.
one. I remember, oh, God forgive me, we used to call one of our copper then a slamping master. Slamping, he tricks a lot. And this man
He treks from one village
from
to
the school to town because he doesn't have money, and immediately after school you see him cutting shortcuts going to town. So the student was like, if we see him, the slamping master is back because he doesn't have, so he have to get the shortcut. He can't pay money for bike, so he knows
and you
how
people
to.
can't contribute money for
We
it.
can't, we're in boarding
Yeah,
school.
students.
And then the little we have was for our pocket money. And because the food was also a trouble to us. I think I was crying throughout my secondary school because the food, if you see what we were being given then, you know, these. And that's why I told my mother, if not that you were a teacher, I believe I would have gone to a private school. I couldn't have gone to public school to see what I saw then. Because you will see a soup that you cannot even, as it is now, a lot of people cannot even give their dogs. But will be given. Sometimes you go to the dinner, you will even miss the food. The whole queue, half of people, they'll say food has finished and they'll tell you to go back to your hostel. So assuming your provision has finished or you have nothing, what do you expect? That's where they breeded some of these thieves now. Because a child can be very hungry. Some of them cannot endure. My own, I was crying every night. Because if my stomach started telling me that I'm hungry, I will remember there's food in our house. Because my mother cooks extra every day that stays overnight. She will say, you don't know who comes in the night or who will knock at your door. And then a child is in school that cannot even get a proper meal. So pack every provision you give him. It will get to a state that this provision will finish, and maybe then there was no.
So this poor feeding started a long time ago.
Started a long time. We went through it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I'm telling you that I cannot be a teacher because of that. You know, that mentally it has already sticking something into my brain. So assuming
But you encourage people to be teachers.
if they wish to. If they wish to. Honestly, I will not ask anyone to go and be a teacher.
Okay, now let's even go to the teachers themselves. People who were once noble, who were once respected. Now they are also found into this corruption, web. They don't teach their complete syllabus. You see a child carrying all the textbooks. I mean, I've seen children where their shoulders will bend because of the load they carry every day. And you ask, what exactly do they really teach you? And then some, when they come home for homework, I mean, when the homework they bring, I mean, you're going to spend 10 hours doing homework.
And you wonder what the teacher is teaching.
And you wonder
in
what
the
the
class.
teacher was teaching. Then
The teacher is going for lesson.
Yeah, you as a parent, you came back from work tired, frustrated, and everything. And then you have to cope with your child's homework, which will also take you another 3, 4, 5 hours if you're not careful. So do the teachers themselves, do they really need to look inward, or do we need a state of emergency declared into the educational sector?
I would say that part of the problem is everyone that cannot find a job just goes into teaching.
Yes.
So it's now like, every
All comers, a dumping ground or something.
It has become a dumping ground. So people that don't have the passion just go into the system, and that's what is happening. That's why today we have all of these teachers promoting exam malpractice, because how I grew up, being the daughter of a teacher, it was drummed into my head why I had to read, why I would never have to indulge in exam malpractice. And my teachers drummed this into us, how we sat in exam halls. You couldn't even turn to ask anyone. But now the teachers are even the ones that, if you pay them. So students pay teachers, and then they come and they are pointing out answers to them. In fact, the teachers will go and buy the question paper and run it through with the students, and at the end of the day, the next day is exam. The students come knowing already, or
So they won't even read.
They won't even.
or even the teachers come and say, okay, 1B, and just tell them, because the students have paid. And if you don't pay, you will not have access to this information. So because it has become a dumping ground, every kind of corrupt person, also because of the standard of living in our country, people have to survive. I'm not making excuses, but it's just a case of dog eats dog, man eats man. Everyone is trying to survive any way they can. So if they find teaching, they go into it, and then because they are so desperate, they just corrupt the system.
Okay. Yes. Good.
So the teachers, I think somehow a state of emergency should be declared on them, because the corruption going in schools now. I wish I can say something.
Please say it.
Anyway, if you see it, fine. These people, you pay a school good amount of money, private school, most especially schools in Abuja. They engage in exam malpractice, any exams, whether junior WAEC,
SSC,
not in
Senior
fact,
WAEC.
senior. I've not experienced senior WAEC, but then my child just finished writing junior WAEC. I removed him from that school. I was not comfortable. This is a child that I use your YouTube to learn about this. These are the topic. We're like reading. My mother is with me. So then the next thing, the child came back to me and said, mommy, they were calling everything for us in the class. And this is not a school that you pay maybe 100,000 or so. And they were giving you jokes that yes, in fact, one day, because my child learns, and they told them, never you tell your parents. Never. This thing happened on 2 months.
So you start teaching children how to lie.
To lie and even to steal.
To steal.
When we are discouraging it in the house. So this boy came and told me, then I called a parent that is also in the school, that at least I have her number. She's from the north. So I call her, I said, this is what my child told me. The woman now said, so person, she have a lesson teacher in the school. I've already told her that, yes, that's what that most schools in Abuja, I shouldn't look at it. I said, no. And her daughter was there. The daughter heard my conversation with the mother. Do you know, she went back to school and told them that my son went and told me that this is what, and then, all of them were against, all the his classmates were against him. Why will you go and say it? I've taught my child that anything that happened, my son will tell me. Anything that happened, he would tell me. So I was like, I called the teachers. I'm not okay. They said, no, this is what is happening. Almost all the private school in Abuja. I said, almost all the private school. They say it. So this is a child that is barely 12 years. And then you've taught him how to lie. And then you are teaching him how to steal in an exams. Tell me, what is his motivation to go and study? When he knows at the end of the day,
he can just
so this teacher, yes, he can. The teachers will,
so that
even the teacher knows how to tell the children that when the supervisor comes, I will corner her out, and then they will come and give you jokes. That thing, did you know? I was not planning. I was not prepared to change that child's school, but I paid big because I wanted a standard that this child can, and I'm seeing result. I say, no wonder these children plays, and then you see them discussing movies, you see them discussing things that children watching adult movies, and you teachers. I went and complained because, in fact, that day I nearly killed my child. And when I went to the school to complain that, okay, he said so child, asked him to watch that, because you don't watch movies in my house at this age. Because
how do they watch these movies? Is it that they go with their phones, or they
will tell? He said the other child told him that on so channel, on the DSTV, at so when they came back, I saw him. My nieces reported to me, because they know it's something that you don't, until you get to that age that is allowed. When they said
films you don't
watch in my house. So I beat this boy, and his face that took more than, I have to take him to the hospital. I was very angry. He said it's so. I went to the school. They called that child, and the child.
Is it a pornography film?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But then, if you are watching an American movie for 16-year-old, for 16 years and above, and then they do hugging, they kiss. So at the end of the day, that child will want to try what he saw them doing. And sometimes you see them pulling up. They may not show anything, but then what are they doing? That children are very, very inquisitive at this age. They want to know everything that is happening
and practice it too.
Practice it too. So I actually don't want it. Watch your cartoon, go to news, as they will tell you that they've nicknamed me with news. So when I went to the school, all they could tell me was that, the parents has money, so they don't stay at home with the children. So maybe in their own home is not a problem. I was told that by a teacher.
And he or she is proud to even say that. Just because some people don't have
then you
money
have to call the parents and go, didn't you hear that 2-3 years old now, you see them in a bathroom trying to, because parents do so many things before
in front of their children.
In front of their children. So you are teaching them that thing. Whatever it is. The other time that I came for a program here, I mentioned it, that when people talk about single life, the single life it affects your children in the sense that when people talk about them, that they actually don't want my child to marry, because they believe that maybe the mother or the other parent that the child grew up with was not living a decent life. There are things that you deny yourself. You find yourself in a situation so that these children are learning from you. Even if you drink, don't drink at home. They will see from you. So you find a teacher going out of the class to smoke, and then the children may see him doing it. They will want to smoke too tomorrow. So teachers, yes, we are trying to be a voice for them, to be considered and people to be well taken care of. But they should also work on themselves. The teachers now are actually not what we used to have before.
Okay, but that still brings us back to the question where we said because the society has turned teaching profession to a dumping ground, so you find all sorts of people who are trying to survive in that kind of profession. So you have a smoker, you have a thief, I'm sorry to use the word, you have all sorts of people in a profession that is not meant for them. And then the parents themselves have neglected their own role. When a parent said he doesn't have time, go to school, let them teach you. You want the teacher to mold your child, because they say in character and in learning. When they're giving you your certificate, they first mention character before they even mention learning. So character, you are the one who is supposed to build your child character, not the school for you. Learning, fine, you are also supposed to take some certain percentage. But when you neglect your role and you dump everything on one person, you have also created a workload that the person himself cannot, cope with.
That's true. It's unfortunate. Teachers were known as role models. But not anymore. Not anymore, because what are you modeling? You're modeling exam malpractice, you're modeling, wrong side hustle. So I feel sorry for teachers. I feel sorry for the children that we're raising these days, because the people that are support systems, which is what teachers are not what they used to be. So of course it then means that we worry for the kind of society that we would be in the next 20, it's not going to be far, 20-40 years we'll still be here. And so I just worry the kind of children we're raising, and that's why it brings us to talking about Yahoo, because they are lazy. The system is not even as vigorous as, there's no need to work as hard. Even the teachers, because they would encourage you to read, which is why you shouldn't be doing exam malpractice. But if it's going to be made easy to you, then you just want an easy life. So you want easy money. So this thing is ripple effects here and there.
And you see, they said there's they call it now that winner center. It used to be in the villages.
Winner center used to be in the villages.
Yes, you go to the village and register for WAEC, because they are going to tell you from A to Z. But now it's not only in the villages, in the cities, all these things are happening. I wrote WAEC. I wrote 3 times to make up my papers.
3 times?
3 times. I'm not.
So do we say you are extra brilliant?
Not brilliant. I wrote 3 times because I could not.
No, indirectly.
Okay. You're not serious. To tell you that you will write it, one paper that you need a credit in it, it will come out P for you. But I at least I can honor that this is what I wrote myself. Nobody gives me any jokes or anything. I cannot. Your teachers will be all on you, checking everything. They will check you, they will check the boys, check everything. You cannot carry even a biro that has anything on it. They will check to your inner wares. But now, You see people with A's, with B's. Can they defend those
No,
papers?
not.
No. So I should be proud that I wrote it. I didn't get it complete. I still went back again. I wrote
And nobody
external.
beat you or laughed at you.
No, nobody. I will say it proudly. I'm owning up to it with my full chest.
Yes.
That I wrote 3 times.
I also wrote a WAEC only once, but I scored a P in maths, and I was so proud of it because I said, okay, I'm reading mass communication. Mass communication doesn't require
math.
a C. No, but I was lucky. I got a P, and you need to see.
But that was then.
What helped me was NECO,
Yeah.
where I don't know how, but
Yeah.
I got a C
Yeah.
in mathematics. So that's what I did get
I
an
knew
F.
that then.
But this coming to these schools who are now doing all sorts for children to pass their papers. It's also the parents who have put pressure on this school.
You dare not repeat a child now.
You dare not repeat a child. One, you dare not make children fail WAEC or NECO or anyone, because the parents will tell you, I pay 500 for a term, I pay 1 million for a term, and this is what you give me. So after an examination, and then you see the number of failures, before you know that school, the students will drop dramatically.
I'm talking about ₦1 million.
Yes.
I said we followed up on the camp we had. School fees is 19,000 naira.
School fees.
School fees.
19,000.
19,000. GSS Hoshe, GSS Tuduwada.
Okay.
But parents came crying, please don't repeat my child. I've not paid for the last 4 years. 19,000.
So
I've not finished paying. And so they are saying, do not repeat my child. The last time we went, which was just last week, some boys were asked to repeat. And they said they were not going to repeat. As a matter of fact, we were in shock, my team and I, when the boys were saying, make we go chow first, we go know what thing to do. And they left the school compound, went to it, came back and said they were leaving the school.
Okay, so if you pay 500,000 or you pay 1 million naira in a correct school, there's no how that
Is there
school.
anything like correct school?
There are good schools.
Yes, and then there are schools.
There are good schools.
You just give us an example of the one you pay a huge money, and this is how it turned out to be.
Yeah, but then no.
Okay.
That one was like, okay, maybe for this time. They will tell you this one is for the average ones, and the school in so places for this. But then I see it as, what am I living for? I'm living for my children. Whatever.
But people like you are the cause of the problem, because when you people insist that your children must go to very expensive schools,
no, the school that my child
at
is
all
now,
cost. No, because you went to a public school.
Yes, because I know
She
what
went to
happens.
a public school.
No, she didn't go to public school.
No, when you go to federal government colleges.
No,
it's
she
still
doesn't
good.
go to federal government colleges.
Why are you speaking for her?
No, I know. I know. At least that's why I told you that the father was not a teacher.
Okay.
So at least he could afford anything for them.
I went to a public school, and we came out better. We didn't come out dull. Do you understand what
The
I'm saying?
public schools were quite good.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Even if our parents had money then, if they were average people, they are not super rich, but they were average people. But they still took us to public, schools as far as secondary school is concerned, not primary, but secondary school. And we went to that public school, to the secondary school, and we came out better, very intelligent. You don't go to my school, Awori College, Ojo. Let me advertise my school here. In those days when we went to school in the 90s.
No, most especially
You go,
the federal government schools were quite
and when you speak, people said, oh, you're from Awori. They could sense that in you. And we had children from very prominent, people.
I could remember somebody for federal colleges. That one, they are on the same level with the private schools. If it's the federal, and then there are a few state government.
So why are we now insisting? Why won't we concentrate more effort, even as parents, to say the local school must work for our children?
Are they working?
Why do we have to? No, but we have to say they must work.
Let's not stop deceiving ourselves. Are they really working?
No, but
so
we can make
them
them
when
work.
Erufai took his child to a public school.
Yes.
Did the child later finish in that public school? It was just a show off of a politician, because no politician that has what it takes to take care of his child that will take his son to a public school. It was just more trying to encourage people to bring their children. I think when someone was trying to, I said, no, the man was encouraging people that are not sending their children to school to bring their children out. See if my child can be in this place. And I'm very sure then that he allowed the child to be there, and then he engages this child with good lessons at home. You see, there's one thing we don't even understand. If you know your son very well, you know your child very well. My child is somehow playful at the moment. So can he survive when the crowd is much in a class? No, there are some children that cannot cope in a space of maybe the crowd is much and then the teacher doesn't pay attention to him. And then there are children that want a one-on-one situation. So by the time when you know that and you realize this is where your child belongs, there are children that are very, very they are not not outspoken. So they don't have confidence to, then you can take them to any private school that you think there's crowds there, so that they can come out of their shell and but then if your child is already an area on your own, then take him to a place where there's a one-on-one teaching, because there are schools, like most especially these British schools that practice, they go on one-on-one, they attend to you.
But ladies, as we wrap up on this, are we also not putting too much pressure on our children?
No,
because play is part of learning.
They play. But
I played very well.
I can see. Because you are still playful.
Yes, I played very well. Even in my university, I'm still very playful. Because for some people, that's how they learn. In some other climes, your child has to play up to 7 years before he even starts academic.
And can you see that it's working for them?
Yes,
I mean, we're talking about China, Vietnam,
yes,
it's working.
Even Ireland, that's what they do. They have a system where your child has to play for 7 years. And that's how it's supposed to be. When you say a child of 10 is already in JS1, Nigeria, by the time he's 15,
8.
No, by the time he's 15, he has finished secondary school.
Yeah.
He's 16, he's in the university. Learning comes with maturity.
Absolutely.
As you grow, you learn, you become wiser.
The brain gives out.
Yeah, but if you choke the brain, you choke the brain too much. You choke the brain, you cram this, cram that.
It's showing in our society. Yeah. It's showing in our society. We see how it's changing. These children are put under so much pressure that right now, a child of 14, and I'm telling you practical things. Yeah. I have the essays in my house in Jos, where they was, I'm depressed. So we went to see them on Thursday last week.
A child wrote in his paper that he's depressed.
Several of them. And we asked them, we read your feedback. We say you're depressed. Because what they were telling us is, I have been depressed, but this summer camp, because we tried to make it holistic. We did the academics and then we, tried to just be holistic. And we said to them, but we saw that in your feedback, you said you were depressed. First question, how do you know that you are depressed? I read the symptoms. A child of 14 years, you're being provided for. Your parents have put a roof over your head. They send you to school. They pay school fees for you. They feed you. And you're depressed. So it's this pressure. This pressure of society. They are pushing. They're a bit too young. So they are not matured enough. I just saw last week that the human brain does not mature fully until at the age of 26.
Thank you.
So it means that there's time for everything. I think all the holy books tell us that there's time. But then we're pushing our children under so
everybody
much
wants
pressure.
to have a graduate at the age of 18.
A child finished secondary school at 14.
Is it not the same in this country?
No, there's everything wrong with it.
No, is it not? If they are applying for a job, they say from 22 to so. Why do you want that? And they want you to have an experience.
We have to review.
They want you to have 4 years experience.
We have to review. That's why the education education emergency that we're calling for, we have to review all of that. I know some time ago, the federal government did say, if you are not 18, you will get admission. We got admission at the age of 18 in the university. Some people 20, some even 22. Some who wrote WAEC or JAM 4 times.
I mean, I had 30
some
years
people
old
20. Yes, even 30 years old. And they came out better than us. The people who were 30 years old in my class are the first class people.
You know, when you go in a little more mature, you know.
And you're saying this, that
but
there are still kids below 10 that are already scholars. So what are we saying?
Yes, true. But you see,
but that's one in rare cases. Yes.
But the thing is, our system, there needs to be an overhaul of the system. You know, there needs to be some regulation. Because pushing these children is going to, whether we like it or not, I keep saying, yes, we're global. But we can, what works in America, what works in Canada might not necessarily work for us. Not everything that works for them will work for us. We need to take it and localize it, even as we try to remain as global. But we need to make it work for us. Or our system doesn't work. Their system works. So we need to make it.
That's why they say he who goes on borrowing goes sorrowing, right?
Yes. But the pushing that we have pushed these children is also to make them cheat. Exam malpractice. Yes, that's what we have.
Therefore, last year, the best boy in JAM was 14 years. He was turning 15. So what are we saying?
Can he defend the result?
He can defend
let's
it.
not even go
he
there.
He can defend it.
Let's
because the boy
finally, AI is here. And it's going to take the teaching job.
Sooner or later.
So how are we going to cope as parents? Are we going to adopt AI for the good reasons, or we're going to adopt the AI for the bad reasons? Because it will come to a level where just with your system, all the subjects will be there and AI will be teaching your child. So you don't need to send your child to a very expensive school and pay 1 million or 2 million and get disappointed at the end of it.
You know what I think? I think that parents should jump in before AI jumps in.
Okay.
You introduce it to your child. Like I tell people, I don't have a problem with anyone using AI. However, create your own thoughts and let AI help you sharpen it or clarify.
Fantastic.
So you parents, right? Introduce it to your child yourself and teach the child to think for himself and let AI only enhance. But when you just allow the child go outside, it's just going to be lazy. You allow AI do everything. So it is your responsibility. Don't wait for the teacher. Don't wait for his friends. Don't wait for the environment. You be the one to teach your child how you want him to relate with AI and whatever other, because AI is just the beginning. We don't even know. We didn't think of AI 5 years ago.
She's right. Because you will check, I was checking my nephew's book and I saw that your homework, you're getting 10 over 10. So I said, let me see your classwork. Because I'm suspecting that, okay, because you can actually browse it on the TV, browse the result. And I said, how do you do your homework? This, like, Judith was around. So I was like, you're getting 10 over 10 in your homework. When I get that, no, I usually put it on the TV to check and then they guide me. That's if it's for chemistry, it's usually, they guide me with the formulas. I say, fine. I hope you're not, because you can actually just ask the question and answers will be given to you. That's what she's saying.
That's the senior expo.
You see,
the senior exam malpractice.
You see, so this AI of a thing to me, I feel that,
and there's nothing we can do. It has come to stay. So that is why it's on the parent. It behoves the parent to teach your child, do the work first, then you can.
That's when we are talking about the teachers. Please, they should be checking this homework. When you bring your homework, you should be able to define it there. Because if you are doing it at home and you're browsing it, what are you teaching the child if the whole thing is not getting into his brain?
But that's what she said. The parents should jump into AI before AI jump into their children.
This AI, I wish, if it's for me, I actually don't want it.
But you can't do anything about it because it has come to stay. And a lot of people, because how many teachers will have the time to go through, even if you have 20 students in your class, 20, let's say even 20, and then you have to check every homework and have to call every child to say, come and defend your homework. We have had people who say, somebody, my VC was here some time ago, and he said, is it in Morocco or in Algeria? They have a university of computer science. You don't write exams. You don't come in with any qualification. You just go in straight. and you play with the computers.
Interesting.
You just go in and you start, operating the computer, and it gives results, because these are people who, even the AI is a creation of a human being.
True.
It's not as if the machine just woke up one day, and some people just created their thought and felt that some other people should, imbibe it, whether they like it or not. So these are the kind of creative, educational systems that the world is adopting. People are no longer saying you must pass, you must have 10 credit or 5 credit or 0 credit to be, but people are saying don't have anything, just come in and explore your potentials. Ladies, I thank you very much. It's very interesting to celebrate teachers, people who are. I still see them as role model, even in spite of the the bad eggs that we'll have, and I feel the society is the one who turned them to what they are, and the society must also revert that. If I want to see you as a human being, I want to respect you, then I should also invest in you. Because the people who have money, there's nothing wrong if you come to a school and you see your teacher looking very shabby, very depressed, and said, okay, let me ask you, what exactly is the problem? Sometimes you don't even need to ask. You could buy some new clothes, you could buy some perfume, you could buy bags, you could buy some things just to say thank you for helping my child. Not every time you come to rebuke a teacher and quarrel a teacher. Yes. So we've come to the end of this discussion on Teachers Day. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll go straight to our other topics. Stay with us.